the Almighty God will continue to be with us all. In Jesus' name, amen. The topic of discussion this morning is attitude and behavioral character in leadership. The attitude and behavioral character in leadership. First, I would like us to understand what we mean by the word leader. A leader is an individual who guides, motivates, and inspires others to achieve a common goal or vision. They possess a combination of skills, traits, and qualities that enable them to influence and empower others to work towards a shared objective. So in other words, leadership is an act of a leader. So we have some key characteristics of a leader. Number one is visionary thinking. A leader is a visionary thinker. A leader has what we call strong communication skills. 3, emotional intelligence, empathy and understanding, wisdom, decisiveness and strategic thinking, integrity and accountability, adaptability and flexibility, coaching and development skills, ability to inspire and motivate others, and resilience and perseverance. And finally, leading ability. Leaders can be found in various contexts, which includes business and industry, politics and government, education and academia, non-profit and social organizations, community and religious groups, sports and athletics, military and defense, healthcare and medicine, arts and culture, environmental and social movements. Effective leaders are able to build trust and credibility, foster a positive and inclusive culture, drive innovation and change, develop and empower others, make informed and timely decisions, communicate effectively and persuasively, adapt to changing circumstances, lead by example and model desired behaviors, celebrate successes and learn from failures, leave a lasting impact and legacy. Now, we want to look into the attitude and behavioral character of leadership. I just explained to us what a leader is, their characteristics, and their effects in the society at large. Attitude and behavior are crucial characteristics in leadership as they significantly impact a leader's effectiveness and influence. I take it again. Attitude and behavior are crucial characteristics in leadership. They can significantly impact a leader's effectiveness and influence. Now, there are some key attitudes and behaviors that are essential for effective leadership. Number one, of attitude of leadership. Number one is positive attitude. A leader with a positive attitude can inspire and motivate others. A leader with positive attitude does not see failure in people, but rather encourage them to move stronger, to strive harder, and to succeed. So they have a positive attitude. They don't look down on people. They keep telling people, yes, you can, just like Numa. That inspiration, yes, you can, is a clear fulfillment of God's scripture that we can do all things through Christ Jesus that strengthens us. So a true leader has what we call positive attitude. Irrespective of how many times one has failed, a true leader will still continue to tell the person that you can get up and you can still make it. So a true leader has what we call positive attitude. Positive attitude, the life of that leader himself or herself will begin to teach others or motivate others to do great things or to do greater things in life. Number 2 is empathy. We are talking about the attitudes of leadership. Number 2 is leadership. Empathy. Understanding and relating to others' perspectives and emotions. When a leader has what we call empathy, they don't look at problem, they look for solution. They don't look down on people, they bring people up. They have understanding and relating to others. They have ears. They always want to listen to what others are saying. They are actually good listeners. A good leader is always a good listener. A good listener and one who encourages and helps one to rise in life. And they are very, very emotional. That means they rejoice with those rejoicing. They laugh with those laughing. Even they cry with those crying. Just to make sure that they are a living proof of what leadership attitude is about. Number 3, a leader must possess what we call humility. Humility is one of the greatest attitudes a leader can possess. That is recognizing one's limitations and being open to learning and growth. A leader, a true leader, is someone that learns. A true leader does not see himself or herself as one that knows it all. Is always open to learning. And a true leader, after learning, they go on teaching. Because they have to learn, they have to teach what they have learned. That is a true leader. Humility. They are very humble, very straightforward. They don't run people down. They don't begin to boast. Do you know who I am? A true leader humbles him or herself to the level that people cannot actually differentiate between a leader and the follower, because they want to be at a following stage so that they can see clearer. A leader that does not humble himself to the level of a follower will not be able to see what is happening in between those following him. And that is what is happening in our nation today. The moment leaders get to the top, all their ears are closed to what is happening down there. We'll be hearing a lot of things happening, but yet the leaders will say they are not aware of what is happening. Why? Because they have taken themselves to a level of pride that they don't even have ears to listen to people again. And that is one of the fundamental problems in our nations today. So a true leader attitude must have what we call positive attitude, empathy, humility. And number 4 is flexibility. Flexibility. adapting to changing situations and circumstances. That means a true leader are not usually predictable. They cannot be predicted. They cannot say this is where they are going or that is where they are going. They are flexible. The moment there is a change, they adjust straight. Not that they begin to go, even when there's a change, they begin to still run with their old vision. They have to make an adjustment so that it will suit and benefit the masses. So a good leader's attitude must be flexible, flexibility. And number 5 is accountability. Accountability. Taking responsibility for one's actions and decisions. The story about a man is actually a police officer. Some of his men carried out an illegal operation. After carrying out the illegal operation, during the illegal operation, they almost killed them, his men. And they arrested them. Despite the fact that they are police as well, they arrested them. And when their leader was caught, he said to them, I cannot leave my men alone. I have to stand by my men. So he gave them options. And the bottom line of everything was that he said he has taken responsibility of whatever that has happened. That whatever they want to do to the men, that they should do to him and leave the men alone. That is a good leadership attitude. Must be accountable, must be able to take responsibility. And when of any form of failure, and when there is success, a good leader must not take the glory alone. Even when they say, congratulations to the leader, he has done this, he has done that, and he will be able to stand up and say, no, there's no way I could do this alone without my men being there. So a good leader must be accountable for his action or for the action of his followers. Now, we want to look at the behaviors of leadership. Number 1 is communication. Clear and effective communication is essential for leadership. Where there is no communication, there's bound to be failure. Where there is no communication, there's bound to be disagreement. Where there is no communication, there's bound to be disagreement, assumptions, and crisis. But when communication is very clear and instruction is followed adequately, the purpose or the aim of the communication will be achieved without any stress. So communication is number 1. Number 2 of the behavior of leadership is integrity. Integrity matters a lot when we're talking about leadership, because everyone is looking at the leader as someone that is perfect, as someone that knows it all, even though he knows he does not know it all, and wants to even learn even from the least of his followers. So integrity, that is demonstrating ethical behavior and consistency in words and actions. A true leader does not say A, and when there's an issue, he says he did not say A, he says B, that it was B, he said. A true leader must have what we call integrity. Integrity can also be a form of pride, that I will not do this. I will not compromise on the status of this mission. So a true leader must have the behavior attitude, the behavior of integrity. That means demonstrating ethical behavior and consistency in words and actions. To the extent that people will be able to vouch even for the leader. That, no. Our leader cannot do this. Yes, our leader can do this. But when our actions becomes questionable, it means that integrity has been defeated. Number 3, visionary. Visionary. A leader must have a target, must have a vision of what he wants to achieve. That is visionary thinking. Having a clear vision and strategy for the organization. If they want to get to the top, no matter how hard the challenging may be, because of the vision is to get to the top, no matter what, they will keep on moving. I know a man, a businessman, he has failed several times. And whenever we come near him to encourage him, what he used to say is a very strong word. He will tell us and he will say, thank you all for coming. Thank you all for your encouragement. But you people know me, that whenever I fall, I will rise again. Because I know where I am going to. And this statement, or this visionary word or thinking, has really helped him over the years. He has failed several times, but today he is still standing. So if a leader must have visionary thinking, must be able to be thinking in a positive way, must have a positive mindset. Number 4 is emotional intelligence, understanding and managing one's own emotion and those of others. Emotional intelligence. No matter how depressed a leader may be, it must not show. Because the moment it shows to the public or to the followers, their faith will begin to go down. Their strength will become weakened. So, no matter what a leader is going through, he must still be standing and he must still be fighting for the purpose of achieving the vision of the organization. So a good leader must have what we call emotional intelligence. Even when others have challenges, he has to put aside his own challenges and face other people's challenges. That is one of the work of we pastors today. A pastor is like someone that is carrying load on his head, carrying load on his 2 hands, carrying load on his back, even on his chest, his own load. And yet he will still see someone carrying another, just one load. And because that load is too heavy for that person, the pastor will still go to that person and carry and collect the load from that person and still carry it for him or her. And that is how a true leader is expected to behave. Having emotional intelligence. No matter how downcasted others may be, we must not speak bad about them. We must always encourage them so as to do better. We must always encourage them so as to get the best even out of them. So a good leader must have the behavior of emotional intelligence. Number 5 is collaboration. Collaboration. There's a saying that a tree cannot stand alone and say he's a forest. It's impossible. So a leader must have the behavior that will encourage others to come together and to work together. There's a difference between coming together and working together. Working for the same goal. So collaboration, building and leading teams, and fostering a sense of community. Building and leading teams and fostering a sense of community. There is a teaching. We teach people that you must duplicate yourself. Because the truth is that we are not going to be around forever. So when we leave, somebody else must be able to stand in gap. Even in organizations. That is why we have assistant this, deputy that, or vice this. So that whenever one is out of the system, the other, the assistant, the deputy, or the vice can fit into the position. And even if the vice or the assistant is not available, somebody else must be able to do that. So we must duplicate ourselves. We must be able to duplicate ourselves. When Jesus Christ, our Lord, he raised the 12. He impacted the 12. And at the time, he sent them out to do what he has been going out to do. And they came back with testimonies. And he said in his word that greater things have I have done, that you will do also. So a good leader must have what we call collaboration, must be able to work with people, and must be in a position where people can work with him as well. Number 6 is adaptability, leading through change and uncertainty. Nobody knows tomorrow. Not just tomorrow. Nobody knows what will happen in the next minute. So a good leader must be able to adapt through changes. When there's a change, there must be an adjustment. When there's a change, there must be a rethinking or a redirection. So a true leader must have that behavior of adaptability to adapt to changes in or around him or her. Number 7 is decisiveness. Decisiveness, making informed and timely decisions. Making informed and timely decisions. Find a good leader can throw out a question, seek for suggestions, for advice. And after everyone has brought in their contribution, a true leader must be able to stand and say, this is what we are going to do. In fact, a true leader, when he gives out an assignment to somebody, he must be able to have concluded the assignment on his own, or given the assignment to somebody else. So that if one person, if the one he has given it to fails, he can use the other. And if that other one fails also, he can stay with what he has already prepared ahead. So a true leader must have a stand, must be able to take decisions, even in the midst of confusion. That this is where I stand, and this is what we must do. Number 8, coaching and development. That is actually one of the duties of a true leader. One of the attitudes of leadership, coaching and development, reproducing oneself or trying to make others better, because a true leader must be able to stand and create someone that is better than him or her. Must be able to stand and create someone that is better than him or her. There are some leadership skills or leadership behavior that does not stand the test of time. When one does not want the follower to be better than him or her, if eventuality happens, such organizations will collapse. We have so many businesses, so many organizations, even churches today, even economy that has drowned, all because there was nobody capable enough to take the position after the demise of the leader. So coaching and development, investing in the growth and development of team members, building the life of others for the sake of a greater tomorrow. Very, very important. And number 9 is recognition and feedback. Recognition and feedback. This is what I actually encourage people in the church, even wherever I find myself. When one has done something, we have to recognize them. We have to encourage them for what they have done. And the feedback aspect is very, very important. Oh, when you did this, you did not do it well. Next time, this is how we should do it. So there must be feedback. How did it go? If we don't run over the program we have done, if we don't bring out the errors in it, then we'll continue to make errors. But when we have a proper feedback, whereby we can even throw it out to the team, how did it go? What can you say about the service today? What can you say about the meeting today? What can you say about the outing today? And people can actually come out and say, okay, this, and even from feedback, we have what we call suggestions. Just as the Bible says that iron sharpeneth iron. We even get ideas, we get more ideas from feedbacks. So recognition and feedback, acknowledging and providing constructive feedback is very, very important. When we have feedback, we will not fall back. When we have feedback, we will not fall back. And finally, number 10, leading by example. Leading by example. If you are teaching people on giving, you must lead by example. You must be the best giver or the first giver. If you are talking about neatness, you must be the neatest. If you are talking about humility, as a leader, you must be the most humble. So a leader must be by example, must lead by example. You don't dedicate an assignment you yourself as a leader cannot do. You don't. What you can do is what you give people to do. If you cannot do it, a true leader does not begin to push people into danger, into errors. Must be able to take stand. And those are one of the strategies that won war in those days. Kings don't stay back at home. They go to the battlefield. They draw the swords. And when the victory is won, is given, they claim it and celebrate the others. So as a leader, we must lead by example, modeling the behaviors and values you expect from others. People must see us as a leader, fearless, with integrity, honest, wise, focused. If you call yourself a leader and you have a vision and you are not running in line with that vision, and you expect others to run with the vision, it is an error. When you, as a leader, you don't come to work late and expect your subordinates to come early, because it will be calculative that the leader is not coming early. Let me stay back. It's time. Instead of the resuming time supposed to be 7 a.m., it usually comes 9 a.m. Before you know it, people will begin to come, even some minutes to 9. So as a leader, a true leader must be even at the place of service before others. And this will also encourage others to be punctual and to be available at all times. As a roundup, by demonstrating these attitudes and behaviors, leaders can build trust, inspire their teams, and achieve their goals. Trust is very, very important. If a leader cannot build trust, then people will begin to be scared of taking risk for the organization. A true leader is a risk taker. And being a risk taker, every of his teammates, his team, must also be a risk taker. And they must foster confidence. Confidence. Not talking down people, not oppressing them, not bullying them, or castigating them. They foster confidence and self-belief. Thank you very much. God bless you, ma, for this opportunity. Thank you, ma.
Thank you so much for sharing this valuable information on leadership program, which I really appreciate, because it is time for us, especially if we are mentoring our youth, it is time for us to really guide them through. Yes, they are all leaders, and they are trying to do their best to contribute to the society and impact lives. It is also very important that we guide them through. We don't know it all ourselves. We are also building ourselves up and getting better. So it is this particular topic, sometimes we shy away from it. Our attitude, our behavior, our character in leadership is very important. And you have shared with us all today. Now the questions I need to ask you, sir, about this behavior, character, and how can we, I know we are on this platform together, we are discussing about it, but we have millions of leaders. We focus on the young leaders. How can we really put this very important, how can we put this important information across all our youth leader.
Thank you very much, ma'am. This important information can get across to all our youths through the help of social media, through seminars or workshop, visiting of schools, having parental classes. When I talk about schools, starting from the kindergarten to the primary, to the secondary, the college, the higher institutions. And also, we can make it like a curriculum that even the government themselves can even make use of. Because once the head is not okay, there's tendency that it will affect the whole body. When our leaders don't have all these behaviors, these attitudes, these characters, things get messy. So we need to find means of getting this across to leaders. We need to have means of passing this information to the world at large. And social media is very important. A lot of our youth today, they don't even go, they don't visit teachings like this. They would rather watch skits, listen to music, and watch most of these ungodly videos that does not even teach them anything but immorality. But once we have this attitude, when we encourage them to watch this, like you are doing a very good job, man, having this masterclass. And I believe this masterclass is really going to help the world at large. Thank you, man.
Okay. Thank you so much for answering that question, because it baffles me sometimes, because sometimes as well, they can throw it to us that you are teaching us to behave well, but you are not behaving well. You know, because we also, we need to take that responsibility that we are role models, we are leaders, and they watch us. We don't want to present ourselves as if no one can correct us, or no one can correct us and that we know it all. Nobody knows anything all. That is why this masterclass is on. I humbly invite so many to come and join us so that we can learn together. And while we are learning together, we can also impart and deposit these truths into the lives of the youth. But when the leaders as well presenting themselves that they are perfect and they cannot learn from anybody, that is also another problem, because we want these youths, these younger ones, we want them to listen to us. We want to dictate for them. We want to enlighten, want to show them the way. But then we ourselves, we are doing the opposite of it. Because not only just teaching, masterclass, all these seminars and conferences that we all go to and attend, and other thing to know the technical of and the principles of a leader. It's more than that. Something like this is moral values. We need to discipline ourselves, because they watch us, they observe us before they can listen to us. We don't have to, we need to humble ourselves. Look at this masterclass we're doing. Many leaders supposed to be in this masterclass now, but they are not. I totally agree that they are working. I totally agree that they are busy on their own. But at the same time, we need to guide this youth, because one person cannot do it alone. How many, if we want to count the youth all over the world, how many of them? But we are not even saying that we need to go to we need to go everywhere to go and teach these children or most of this. And that's why we are using this opportunity, this platform online, to reach out to every corner of the world. One person cannot do the job. We have youth in Africa. We have youth in America. We have youth in UK. We have them all over the place. Our duty is to transform. Our duty is to transfer the baton to them. That's our duty. So that when they get there, they will lead effectively. They will not be doing things because either we like it or not. They have their own wisdom. They are knowledgeable, especially in this world of technology. They even know better.
Yes.
And some of them are very wise, very intelligent. But the experience we had, they don't have it. Many years of experience we had. That's the only difference between us and them. They make us their role model. They make us their parents, their fathers, their mothers, their mentors, their coach, their everything. And that's more reason why we should continuously reminding ourselves and renewing our mindset for better tomorrow, for better change, for transformation. Because if you don't renew your mindset, you will stay with your fixed mindset and do it the way other people are doing it, do it the way we've been doing it for many years. But things have changed. And we need to also change our mindset for things that have changed. The way we do things these days is different now. And that is why we need to prepare ourselves and adapt to this change. So if we want this youth to listen to us, then we need to do it right. If we want the youth to listen to us, then we need to lay a good example. Imagine somebody telling somebody, especially parents, telling the child, don't steal, don't kill, don't do this one. Well, you might give them the reasons for not stealing, for not killing, and not doing other things. But what if you're telling somebody don't steal, and the government entrusted you or any organization entrusted you for just some materials or resources and money, and you transfer the money into your own personal account, and you use the money that you didn't work for to build house or to buy houses. Tell me, how do you want that child or that young person to listen to you? You think they can't see? Oh, well, they see a lot. They might not come to you to say, Dad, we see what you've done. My leader, I've seen what you've done. They might not come to you. And that's why they can react negatively. And that is where their bad antisocial comes in. Their attitude towards us. In one way, we failed them because we think it's only laying down the principles. The same principles that is being cut and paste everywhere on social media, cut and paste everywhere on Google, cut and paste everywhere, every social media. So there's no new, if that is what we want to do. They want new thing. And the new thing we can give them is transformation. And before transformation is renewing our mindset and making decision that I'll make a change. And it is not too late. Even if you are 80, 90, 70, or it's not too late to make amendments on this world. And that is why it's very important. So if you are telling them, don't do this, don't behave like this, don't do it, what about we? What are we doing? Because it's in two ways that we can help this youth. We can speak it or write it or whatever, yes. And at the same time, our actions, they watch, they observe, they learn. So there is no need saying something else and then doing something, doing the opposite. You confuse them. And that is why we want to keep learning. I can decide to make this platform just only for the youth alone. But because I don't want to do it alone, I don't want to mentor them alone. Because every of our great leaders, they have wisdom, they have knowledge, they have many years of experience to come and share. And when we're sharing, we are also mindful of it. Because you can say something and then you might be doing something else, but there's room for you also to develop yourself, to make a change. No one is perfect. No leader is perfect. No government is perfect. The same thing we say here on this platform will be the same thing they will say in America, will be the same thing they will say in UK. They will be the same thing they will say in Africa. Because no one is perfect. And we need to keep renewing our mindset because things are changing every day. The way these our youth are learning from us is far, far different from the way we were learning and the way we learned from our fathers, our grandchildren, our grandfathers and our mothers, our parents. The way we were brought up is far, far different from their own development in this time. And that is why we are bringing all these issues. Let's reason it together. No one is perfect and no one knows it all. So when we come together like this, we are sharing our thoughts, and at the same time, we are gaining from others' teachings. So that is why it's very, very important that we get this thing. So your topic today is one of the most essential things in our society. Because if we can be mindful of our character, mindful of our behavior, mindful of our attitude towards others and towards the system, then things can get better. The environment can be peaceful, can be safe for every one of us. We can live a happy life and be peaceful with one another and share love. So that's how important it is. And I'm glad that you mentioned that these are the ways that we can go into the social media. We can even do talk, all this show talk. Let them come to the table. Let them express themselves. What do you think about having behavior, certain behavior? What do you think? I know the professionals are doing a fantastic job. The psychologists, the counselors, the psychiatry, they are doing excellent job. Yes. But all these youths, not all of them will go to meet them.
Yes.
So we have to create another avenue for them. So while they are socializing, they are also learning. So we can do like show talk. They can do like entertainment. Even through their music, they can change things with their music. Change the language with their music, with their entertaining, their acting, and they can change the scenario. So everything to just make this essential information to reach out to many, because it's very important. We are also learning from it. We are also seeing ourselves in that teaching. I mean, I'm being transformed every day. So everything we are doing here is not for them alone. It's for us. It's for me to transform my lives. I'm gaining knowledge, gaining information, the right one, so that I can feel better. I can do better. And I think that's the whole scenario of the whole thing about this mindset for transforming leadership, management, relationship. Because if you can help yourself, then you can help others. If you can discipline yourself, they can help others to discipline themselves. If you can control and lead yourself and manage yourself, then you can do the same to others in a nice and positive way. So that these young ones will cultivate the right thing, the right action, the right information. in their time of their leadership. I've seen so many. It's not about them, it's not about condemning. It's about supporting them. My pastor used to say something I will never forget, and he still keep on repeating it. We gain certificates, we gain awards, honors everywhere, appointments, yes. And we reach there because of all this, our profile. Just like the UN is working towards 2030 for their, what they call that thing now, SDG, Sustainable Development Goals. The same thing happens, the same thing is supposed to happen to every one of us. So my pastor will say, all the things you attained, all these your certificates, all these your awards and everything, we get you there. You can use it to get job. You can get it, you can use it to get a position. You can use it to get contracts. All this, yes. But what about sustainability? How will you sustain yourself there? They appoint you for that job. They employ you for that job. They appoint you for that position. Great and greater leader in the society. That position. They gave you the contracts. They entrusted you with some money. And then my pastor will say, only your character will sustain you. No matter, even if you have PhD. I have an evidence. I mean, I have so many stories about that. Even if you have PhD, you have doctorate, you have everything, and you are the prime minister or the president of a country and the CEO of a big organization, or the great teacher or head teacher or principal in schools, your certificates gets you there. Your gifts, talents gets you there. But what will sustain you there? It's your character, your attitude towards people, your behavior. That is how very important this topic is all about. Very important. That's the only thing that will sustain you. Because people watch you the way you apply what you've learned, and also how you are relating, how you are working as a team. So it's not just the position, it's the attitude, your character, your behavior. We've seen somebody that has PhD degree, who got a job, but because of his behavior, his character, they sack him. And he was sacked several times. From what, and he's a very learned person. He was sacked several times. At the end of it all, he couldn't get a job anymore. So he put himself down, start begging on the street. A whole PhD holder begging on the street, or hawking, or whatever they can call it. It's his character.
Okay.
It's his character. And he's a learned person. The same thing I will say to the government, sorry, but I will say this. They left the country to go and study in abroad. They learned all the principles, how to make things work, how to contribute to the economy of the country, how to feed and create an atmosphere for the people in the country to enjoy, how to manage the resources. Yeah, all of them are learned. But what will bring somebody to involve in corruption? Or to put themselves down and mingle with the system. You said you want to make a change, that's why you went to school. To discipline yourself and also to learn. Then you forgot yourself when you now went to the place where you're supposed to estimate, to demonstrate your skills that you have acquired for many years. You are now went there, joined the system, conform to it, and then continue the corruption, continue the abuse. So that means it is their character that they have ignored in attaining what they want to get. And their mindset. So we need to be thinking ahead. It's not about what you will get now. So why will you compromise yourself for what you will get now that can, vanity upon vanity? It's vanity. Everything we acquire today, anything we attain today, anything we get today, we flush away one day. That's why we're working hard every day to retain it. And it's not about hard work. It's about us, our personality. Because if you have a good character, you have a good behavior, you have a good attitude towards people and towards the system, you don't need to struggle. You don't need to ride above others. If there is no corruption, I'm sure the money in each country will be available, will be enough.
Yes.
If there is no corruption, it will be enough for everyone, and we will still live a comfortable life. So it's down to our mindset, down to our character, our attitude. And we want these children to learn from us. That is why you see, there was a time I heard that a 17-year-old boy killed his own mate for money, for ritual.
Imagine.
So you can imagine this is what they have learned from the adult. It's what they've learned. Because they can see how they're lavishing the money, how they're doing partying, how they're doing one thing or other, corruption. So they say, is that the secret? Then now we also apply it. Unfortunately. And is that a good legacy? Because you might be telling that young man of age 17, don't steal, don't kill. Do the right thing, go to school, get a job, contribute to the society. But he is asking a question. What about you, sir? They might not say it in front of you because definitely they will just, be thinking, they will be talking among themselves. They will not come to you and say, what about you, sir? So they will say, if that is how it makes him to be rich, then I can do the same. I don't need to work hard anymore. I just do the ritual. That is how serious all these things we are learning on this platform is all about. We can be inviting speakers to come and tell us the principle of how you can communicate effectively as a leader, how you can do this as all these ones, majority of leaders, they know. What is missing out is what we are all discussing here. Nobody knows it all. I mean, this kind of masterclass is not popular.
Yes.
That is why 2 or 3 people will only join. Because it's not popular, but I don't care. Because it's not about quality, it's not about quantity, it's about quality.
Quality, yes.
I don't care if it is only one person joining. We've recorded it. So if it's not useful today, it will be useful maybe 10 years to this time.
Definitely.
People will still use this kind of teaching and use it to teach others. These videos. So I don't care how many. It's not about crowd. It's about selective people, distinguished people that want to learn and they want to share. We are not running like a chicken. We are guiding people to rise up like eagle. So that is the point. And we cannot be leading without being mindful of our attitude, character, and behavior. So it's very, very important. And I want to say thank you so much, sir, for sharing this very important with us. And I believe, thank you so much, Ambassador Rita Ilori. I've mentioned your name earlier on. We really appreciate you. Thank you, sir. Ambassador Dr. Morgan Felix Okunuga. Thank you so much. You have a question, sir? I'm going to throw that question to you from Ambassador Dr. Morgan Felix Okunuga. Sir, questions for you from the Facebook. How can this be passed on to our African leaders? This kind of teaching that you shared with us today, how can we pass it on to our African leaders?
Thank you, man. To pass this kind of teaching to our leaders, at least we must be able to get their audience. And one of the best way to get their audience is, or to get their audience or their attention is, number one, we can make use of the social media. The social media is very, very powerful, very, very, very strong, and very, very effective. Number two is newspaper publications. We can pass it across to them through newspaper publications or through press conference. So those are the three ways it can get to our leaders: the social media, newspaper publication, and press conference, visual press conference, whereby they can see it on news, on their program, maybe through a seminar or a workshop that will be telecasted, that they will see and hear. So I believe our leaders in Africa here especially need this because, sorry to use the language, the leadership quality that is expected of them is not actually being demonstrated, despite the fact that they've gone far and near to learn, and yet they are not impacting lives. Rather, they are damaging lives with their policies and with their extravagant lifestyles. Because the main people behind corruption in Africa is the leaders. They are the ones behind corruption in Africa. So if these messages are taken across to them, I believe we can begin to have a positive mindset. They can begin to have a positive mindset towards doing the right thing or leading the people as they have been voted into power. Thank you, ma'am.
Excellent answer to that. I really appreciate that. But I have a questions, very funny questions. Who are leaders? Are they not human beings like us?
Mm.
Now, another questions I need to ask is that, as we are discussing now, as a leader, there's also another way. Most of us has friends, friends that are government. Most of us has families. I appreciate this press conference. I appreciate social media. I appreciate newspapers. But individuals got somebody somewhere involving in government. And that is why I will always say that it's not about a group of people that we cannot approach. You understand? It's not a group of people that we cannot approach. Some of us, maybe even in this platform, might even be related to any particular person that is also doing corruption. It could be the government. So when we say government, it's not only just that group of people. It could be the police. It could be the minister. It could be the House of Rep. It could even be the cleaner in those places. So we are, that is why sometimes I don't agree that when people keep blaming the government, because we are the government. It's only that they are the position leading the whole system and infrastructures of the country. We are all. We are friends. We have families. We have co-workers that's involving in this. And we cannot change anybody. But when we change, our lives can influence others. I believe in that. So when we're talking about that, we need to be talking to ourselves in every group we find ourselves. So it doesn't really have to be the government. Government are the corruption. They are human beings. I have friends. You have friends among them. We have relatives, even neighbors, co-workers, or some people we've gone to school together with before. And it doesn't have to be like in form of a judgmental. It can be like in form of a discussion. We learn a lot from discussion. So if we want to help ourselves, yes, it could be the time we're watching football, because I know that one is common.
Yes.
We can just raise this and somebody just start it up and then we talk. So that's also another way.
Yes.
We're just discussing. We are not there to change anybody. You cannot change anybody. But we can change ourselves and change our system and the way we open communication, the way we open discussion. While we are discussing and everybody is contributing, we are talking to each other. We are talking to ourselves. You are learning from me, I'm learning from you. And if they want to change, they can change because they have the power to change.
Exactly.
But while we are discussing, during the discussion, we can raise the pros and cons, the advantages, the consequences of it. And anybody can change at any time. So that's also another way.
Exactly.
Open communication. Some people go and play long tennis outside. They play golf outside. Yes, they can chat. It doesn't really have to be in a formal. It can be informal. And you can be clearing your own conscience because you know the truth now. So you can open the forum and share your conscience, share your own view out, either somebody take it or not. The same thing happens to our youth. Like I said before, they can pass the message through their acting, through their music. They can pass the message on. They also can change. They can also, the younger ones, they can create like a debate.
Yes.
Where they can bring this up. It can be like, like a discussion, like a debate, like a show. So not really necessary, because not everybody will go to the press conference.
Exactly.
And even when they go to the press conference, sometimes, yes, they can mention it. Whoever is bold enough and is part of the leading, they can share few of that. We call it food for thought. We can put it that way. That,
exactly.
Okay, yes, we've planned how our budget will be, our project, our policy. Yes, we've done all that. On top of it, or somebody among them can be bold enough and say, before we go, and after all, we sing our national anthem, isn't it? And also, probably in some cases, they do closing prayer. So they can also adapt this one, food for thought. Whoever want to hear, we hear. For press conference, social media, yes. The reason why we have all these fraudulers and these wicked people sharing is because the good ones are keeping quiet.
Quiet. Mm.
They're keeping quiet. They're afraid to share.
Mm.
But when we rise above that, then the message will come across. I've been on social media for more than 20 years now. When they first started Facebook, I started with inspiration. If I can continue continuously without compromising, continuously sharing the inspirational nugget of wisdom, those inspirational something, and somebody learn from it, somebody else will also take whatever they've learned on it and start sharing it on their platform. What are we creating? We are creating a circle of possibilities. We are creating a circle of good things. But if all of us keep quiet and say social media is a platform of devil, then how can we put the message across? Gone are those days when they said that politics is a dirty game. Yes, we all agree. But somebody can change it around.
Exactly.
If you do your own part. The same country where they said it is bad and there's corruption, there is killing, we still see from few people doing great things in that country. Or what we need is to increase the numbers of people doing good things and reduce the numbers of those people doing bad things. So the same thing happens to social media. So if we keep quiet, then the bad ones will rise up and occupy the place. We do our own bit, they do their own bit without compromising. And then the message will be called across. We go across. We talk of newspaper. Yes, especially in the Western world where people queue up every morning to buy their papers. Imagine if something like this, as a food for thought, is the first highlighted on a paper. Somebody will read it. Somebody needs to read it. Somebody needs to change their mindset. And yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
And we can do it. Yeah. And that's why we can do it together. Because yes, you can is not for Dr. Elizabeth Lucas Afolalu alone. It's a powerful word that any other person can say it to millions of people out there. Yes, you can attain it. Yes, you can overcome it. Yes, you can face it, the challenges, and win it. And then we say it to our younger ones. And that stimulates them. That encourages them to do good things. I was just writing something recently, yesterday or so. The amount of youth that have created their own organization, and some people that have already created their own organization, NGO, and then they are progressing, they are more than 50 from Y.Y.C.I International. Because they hear the word, yes, I can. Because they hear the word, yes, it is possible. Yes. Because they hear the word, there's greatness in them. Because they hear the word, discover yourself, know who you are, discover your gift, discover your talent, and do it. So we can do it all together as a leader. I don't need to gain any money from this. But my fulfillment is people are changing the scenario. People are changing the policy. People are changing the laws. And people are taking their position. People are taking their territory. People are changing their stories and their situations. People are rising up from being complaining, lamenting, gossiping, and they are doing something purposefully, resourcefully in their lives. And they're also changing it to help others. So they are leaders, and they are also creating leaders in their own way. That's what we need. I want to just say thank you so much, sir. Because if I keep on,
You're welcome.
I'm firing up with your topics later.
Exactly.
I'll just fire it.
Exactly.
But we have to give
Thank
another
you.
person chance to share with us. And even if
Mhm.
you can wait a little bit, you will hear the next speaker what he wants to say. Again, it's
Okay,
another
I'm around.
scenario. Another
Mm.
scenario. So
Mhm.
on behalf of Y.Y.C.I International and Y.Y.C.I International Academy, I want to say thank you, sir, Ambassador,
You're welcome.
Pastor Awodiran Olushola. But
You're
before
welcome.
you go, I have a question for you. You are a pastor. You are
Yes,
leading a ministry. We want the world to know about you more and what you do. Can you just enlighten us about your ministry and how it's impacting into the society and how they can contact you? Thank you.
okay, man. Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. Once again, my name is Pastor Olushola Awodino. Presently, I am one of the pastors in one of the INRI Evangelical Spiritual Church branches at Ayobo. We all know where my spiritual father in the Lord is Primate Babatunde Ayodele, the one that usually gives a warning to the nations, and with so many prophecies coming to fulfillment. I went into ministry as a calling to fulfill the call of God for my life after trying several businesses and other things just to earn a living for the family. But something keeps taking me back to the ministry. I've had some ministries before and been assistant somewhere. And a few years back, I started a ministry called Pray Nigeria Missions. Pray Nigeria Missions is actually a small organization where I lead. People come together, we pray basically for Nigeria, and we post some prayer points on the social media that we should just pray for the nation. And we've been doing that. We've been also giving prophecies, and some prophecies have been coming to fulfillment. Some bad ones, we've been able to use prayers to push them aside. My email is Shodley 040177 at yahoo.com. Shodley 040177 at yahoo.com, or Pray Nigeria Missions at gmail.com. My contact is plus 234 80 552 plus 234 80 552 I'm very, very active on Facebook as Awodino Olushola. There are so many Awodino Olushola too on Facebook, but mine has in front of it Samuel Olushola Ministries, because I have a combined assignment in the body of Christ. So that's what I want to say. Thank you very much, man, and God bless you.
Thank you so much for giving us the information about what you do and your ministry. And I believe that anyone that is interested will always follow you. And if at all you find it difficult to get in, please email us on yyci.academy@gmail.com, and we'll be able to connect you with Pastor Ambassador Lushola Awodiran. Once again, we want to say thank you so much, sir, for
You're
joining
welcome,
us and sharing your wealth of wisdom, knowledge, and many years of experience. We appreciate you,
Thank you
sir.
very much.